It's Heidi Hood with H2 Home Designs, and this is part 2 of a 2-part series where I'm showing you how to create DIY signage that's simple, it's easy, can be quite creative, and can be really inexpensive. It's a cloudy day today, so I thought today might be a great day for me to go out and do a little hunting for some backdrops for my sign. So I'm at my local big box hardware store, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to find a couple of options that you might be able to use to create some custom signage for yourself. I'll be right back. We'll see what we can come up with. I'm back. Well, I'm back. I had a great time in the hardware store, and I came up with a number of really great ideas that you too could use for a backdrop. Some are a little pricier than others, but all of them could work. But I have to say my favorite idea is a truly unexpected idea, and I think that's what I'm known for, is creating with the unexpected. And to me, that's the hint of a really, really great designer, is somebody who's willing to take an object and repurpose it and make it into something completely different that people wouldn't expect. And I think you'll find that that's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm heading home. I'm going to start putting together what I'll call my prototype to make sure that it's going to work out okay for our purposes, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get to work. Good morning, this is Heidi Hood with H2 Home Designs, and I've just returned from my big box hardware store where I was on the hunt for something creative that I might be able to use for the backdrop for custom made signage. I did a video showing you how to create the text for your custom made signage, and now I'd like to just show you how you might be able to create a backdrop that's a little bit unexpected, and in this case rather inexpensive. So while I was there, I wandered through the hardwood flooring section and I came across this beauty. This is a piece of hickory. It's 8 by 8 inches. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, so it's nice thick and nice and sturdy, and it's also got the tongue and groove. You can see that on both sides. So my thought was, what if I could purchase these, glue them together, and then stabilize them on the back and use them as the backdrop for my custom sign. Now you might be asking, why would I go to the trouble to do that? Well, this particular square cost me anywhere between 27 cents and 47 cents. I bought a couple of different versions, so I don't remember the exact price. So buying 6 of them is incredibly inexpensive, and as you can see, absolutely beautiful wood, a beautiful finish. So there'd be very little that we would need to do to this particular piece of wood once we have it put together. So what you'll do is start out with something like this. This is Elmer's Carpenter Wood Glue Max. Wood glue is incredibly strong, and so we're going to add a little bit of glue into the groove on the end here. And when you do this, I'm going to encourage you to be careful not to get glue all over. Don't use too much, because the glue itself, if you are actually going to be painting this particular piece of wood, it's going to look different when you paint it, and we don't want that. So use just enough to hopefully make sure that the pieces of wood stay together, but not so much that it's going to be oozing out all over the place. Okay, so I've got my second piece, and I'm simply going to place it into the groove here. And then I'm going to lay these pieces on a flat surface so that they can dry. So they dry completely flat. So once we have all of these pieces together, we're going to have a nice flat sign. Lay them down. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry completely, and once they're dry, I've actually got 6 different pieces that I've put together. So I've got my 2 pieces of wood flooring glued together, and I'm laying them down on a flat surface so that they can dry completely flat. And I purchased a total of 6 of those wood blocks, and so this is what I've got so far. I've actually got 3 panels, 1, 2, 3, that have been glued together, and I'm just waiting for those to dry. Once they dry, I'm going to take a bead of glue and just run it down this edge and glue these together. And then we're going to brace the back so that they're nice and strong for your backdrop for your sign. I've finished the gluing of my panels together, and you can see what a beautiful backdrop this leaves us. I did the gluing with glue that's quite stable and sturdy. It's Elmer's Wood Glue Max. And you can glue your pieces together, and if you get a little bit of extra in the cracks, best idea is probably to let it dry and then gently peel that glue off. Oftentimes if you try and use a little bit of water and a sponge or paper towel or something, you end up leaving just a little bit of glue in the cracks, and you end up being able to see that later. So I would avoid that and just let it dry a little bit and then peel it off when you're done. Another important step in this is a nice heavy duty hardwood, and so the sign itself is fairly heavy. So along with the gluing of the panels together, I also added some braces to the back for stability. And you can see I didn't take the time to take all of the stickers off the back because they're on the back. They're not going to be seen, so I wasn't terribly worried about that. But I did add 2 braces. You can see one here and one down at the bottom. I simply cut a couple of pieces of wood to size, glued those on again with that Elmer's Wood Glue Max. And then I used my brad nailer, and you can simply use a hammer and nail if you don't have brad nailers. Brad nailers are not necessary, they just make the job really quick. And put some nails in the back of that as well, so that's nice and stable, nice and strong. And the nailer that I've used is actually a Hitachi brad nailer. It's nice and lightweight. It's easy for just small projects like this, so if you're looking for a nailer of some kind, this has been a great nailer for me. Okay, so you can see how beautiful it looks. I did take a couple of minutes to do a little bit of sanding along the edges and then actually sand the finish itself, because I'd like there to be a little bit of tooth, if you will, for the ink for our transfer to kind of glom onto. And so I just scuffed it up a little bit, but it's, as I said, a really beautiful hardwood, and can't get a whole lot of scuffing without some work. So I think it's just gorgeous, and I think we're ready to go ahead and do our transfer. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to H2 Home Designs on YouTube. While you're there, make sure you click on the notifications button so you don't miss a single one of our videos. We're also excited to announce that we are Amazon affiliates, and products that we mention in our videos can be purchased through Amazon, and those links are made available in the comment section. Thanks so much, and if you've got the opportunity, be the one that makes someone smile today. Take care.